Two men on, no out, and Kike Hernández, the 9-hole hitter.
Dodgers and Yankees, New York holding a 2-run lead, top of the 7th. Hi everyone, Lindsay here, and you asked about this potential interference play.
With the infield playing back, he does try to bunt. Trevino dropped the ball. Asking if Kike somehow interfered with him.
The umpire calls a foul ball. This is an interference no call on his behalf. Aaron Boone is a little perturbed, and he'll actually try to argue this for a little to no avail, stating, if you missed it, Boone says he has to get out of the way, call the interference. Hernández, the batter, is in the box, bunts it, kind of looks at the ball, and then there's contact that results in a trip. But the question is it incidental? The broadcasters sure think so.
I don't see any interference here. He's still in the box.
The first question, does being in the batter's box protect Hernández in this situation? We look at 603A3, which is the rule about batter illegal action, talking about the batter's box and implying that a batter that stays in the box, unless they do something weird, is protected from interference. But keep in mind that is for batters, generally during a pitched ball when a runner is stealing, the catcher's trying to make a play on them. This is not that, because as soon as Hernández bunts the ball, that makes contact, that's a batted ball. And when a batter hits a batted ball, the right-of-way rules to field a batted ball shift heavily to the fielder's favor. The batter's box will not protect a batter who interferes with a fielder attempting to field a batted ball, whether it is fair or foul.
He drifted out of the box.
And it turns out he might not have actually been in the box when contact occurred, especially with that back leg. It might have been out. So that point's moot anyway. We have to look further into interference with a batted ball. That rule will tell us whether or not this is illegal. And the rule generally states that the runner or the batter is obligated to avoid the fielder who is attempting to field the batted ball. Because the fielder has the right of way, they are looking up at the pop fly, they're pursuing it, so it is on the offensive team to avoid them. And in this play, we see Hernández looks up as well, which is not an excuse. If you interfere, it's illegal. There is one exception, however, to this rule. First seen in the 1975 World Series, the Armbrister exception to the rule states that when a catcher and batter runner going to first base have contact when the catcher is fielding the ball, there is generally no violation and nothing should be called. The key here, however, is the phrase, batter runner going to first base.
Interference is the call.
In 2011, Dan Isonia called Matt Kemp for interference on a similar play, ruling that Kemp did not fulfill the batter-runner obligation of going to first base. So when contact occurred, the catcher was fielding the ball, Kemp was not going to first, which meant that the Armbrister-Tangle exception did not apply, and this is an out for interference due to Kemp failing to avoid a fielder in pursuit of the ball, who is entitled to field that ball. Shifting back to the New York play, the only question then is, was Hernández going to first base when this contact occurred? Because remember, this is a batted ball, not on a fair ball, not on a foul ball, but on a batted ball. It doesn't matter if it's fair or foul. And if Hernández is going to first base when contact occurs, then the exception to the rule applies. If he is not going to first base when contact occurs, then that is interference for failing to avoid a fielder in pursuit of the batted ball, who is the protected fielder entitled to field it.
Go any further and Boone does not get thrown out of the game.
So was this batter going to first base at the time of the contact? It's really close. He's tracking the ball, his eyes are looking up. I'm reminded so much of the Matt Kemp play because he was just looking for the ball. He wasn't trying to run. And I see something so similar here. And by the time that maybe he's going to first base, contact is already occurring. And it is too late to make that decision when contact occurs. The decision to run to first has to happen before that. Now, for this type of a quick tangle-untangle situation as well, there is an allowance that is made for the batter to complete their follow-through, or in the case of a bunt, to absorb that recoil. But when you see Hernández track the ball with his eyes looking up and not moving toward first, it's a clue telling you maybe this exception to the rule doesn't apply because he's not going to first. So in conclusion, I think he does eventually go to first. I'm just not 100% on whether he started making that effort prior to the contact or not. It looked really concurrent with the contact for me, which would lend itself to an interference call, in my opinion.
I don't see any interference here. He's still in the box.
So in conclusion, as to that he's still in the box argument, completely irrelevant. If anything, on these types of plays, because it's a batted ball, staying in the batter's box is more of a liability than anything else because it indicates maybe the batter is not actually trying to go to first base, so that the Armbrister tangle-untangle exception to the rule does not apply.
Judgment call. He's not going to get it.
As for Boone's, he's got to get out of the way. He's correct, except if the tangle-untangle exception applies. That is the only way that this batter is saved from an interference call. Other than that, if you think he wasn't going to first base, Boone is correct. You have to get out of the way of the fielder. Fails to avoid a fielder, fielding a batted ball, fair or foul, is interference.
Asking if Kike somehow interfered with him. Boone is out.
Pleading his case for interference.
And finally, let's look at the umpire on this play. He's tracking the ball too, and that's why I think he doesn't see the potential interfering act that occurs. He's looking up when that contact happens. So everyone's pretty much looking up, and no one sees the tangle except for Aaron Boone. Well, the catcher felt it, but Boone saw it, or he's just going on his fielder's reaction. Either way, there is a non-zero chance the umpire didn't actually see the contact. And no, it's not reviewable. Thanks for the question, and thank you to all of our supporters here at Close Call Sports. Please like and subscribe, and we have some links in the description to various other ways to support the channel, as well as the Close Call Sports Discord that has the 3D Strike Zone model on it too. But for this play, I thought it was very interesting. The first thing I thought of when I saw it was Isonia Kemp Angel Stadium back in 2011, and I just think it's funny, or coincidental I suppose, that it's also the Dodgers, a Dodgers batter that is in the middle of this as well. I can understand the umpire not calling this, ruling that, yeah, maybe he was actually trying to go to first, but in my opinion, looking at it on replay, he's kind of looking up at the ball a little bit long here, and I think that the contact sort of sneaks up on him before he has a chance to go to first base. And it's because of his own actions in delaying his departure from the batter's box. That's why I have interference. Your mileage may vary. What do you think? Let us know. Drop us down in the comments, and I guess we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Go any further, and Boone does not get thrown out of the game. He looked to the first base ump for some help.